I don't know what's happening, y'all, but good morning. What is going on? Good morning. Okay. What's going on, Melba? So, let me see if this is, I'm having a little technical. I'm having a little technical difficulty. Oh, thank you, Chatterbox. Good morning. Okay, we're on here, but we're not on Facebook. It's just us today on YouTube. I'm not. So let me tell you what just happened. I accidentally hit cancel. Okay, we are on Facebook. All right. I accidentally hit cancel when I hit live. This is a whole word in and of itself, which canceled the previous live that I was just on. Help me today. There's a whole word in there. A whole word. And so here we are. I can't find myself on Facebook, but we're here. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. I got lost in time. Start differently. Ashe, I am here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am here. Good morning. I am in the grading loop. And so I am here. Ashe, good morning. That's how I want to start. Redo, baby. Yeah, come back in. Good morning, Dr. Tad. Good morning, Patchouli. Good morning, Dina. Good morning, Nicole Denise. Good morning, Chatterbox. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that your writing goes well. Good morning, RG. Good morning, Byron. Good morning. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am glad that you are finding utility in these offerings. Good morning, Roger. Hey, y'all, if you all have not, let me see if I could grab the link real quick. I'm gonna come back to it. If you've not, go on my timeline because it is on there on Facebook to grab the link for the last episode of Wake in the World. A shout out to Roger Epps, who is not only my colleague, but he's been my student for the past year and a half. Phenomenal being and very talented media specialist. And he just completed his studies, Ashe, but his final independent study with me was a beta of a podcast called Wake in the World. And so there are 6 episodes and I am the last, and it is on Spotify. And so I am super excited. So go check it out. Also looking forward to the work that he and I will do together in 2026. Bringing PRC to Spotify. So I'm really excited about this work. Good morning, Dr. Leisha. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, LaWonder. Good morning, Kim, Michael, Jessica, Jamie. Dr. Jamie. Good morning, Cherie, Shawnee, Tangi. Okay, here come the people. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, all. Let me see if it's on my page yet. Okay, had to refresh. So this morning's Lippy is I've had it so long that I think I've wiped off. I don't know what color it is. But it's like a holiday color. It's Fenty. I try to celebrate the Black women. I got it last holiday season. I don't know what color it is, but that's what it is for those of you who are wondering. Good morning. Thank you, Natasha, for going to get that Wake in the World podcast. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I have a few announcements that I don't have the Natasha. If you could go to Judge Penny Brown Reynolds page and maybe grab one of her graphics to put up, I would be appreciative of the link. Actually, I have a graphic. It's old, but I'm going to use it to, what am I doing, Melva? Okay, to talk about what I want to say before we get started. So this graphic is, this is from last month. I want to say something because it's important. And shout out to the 7 women that are running for the United States Senate. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I also want to say, because sometimes we overlook our state races and our the other down race cards because these larger campaigns have bigger funds behind them. They are more recognizable. And so I just don't want us to forget that there are other additional important races in our states. And this is an old graphic. This is from November. It's the one I could grab quickly, but I want for you all who are in the state of Georgia to really consider voting and being present and volunteering, and most of all, donating to Judge Penny Brown Reynolds, who is running for Secretary of State. And so while there are 7 Black women who are running for the United States Senate, there is only 1 Black woman right now who is running for the Secretary of State for the state of Georgia, and that is Judge Penny Brown Reynolds. I am biased. I want to acknowledge I have a personal relationship with Judge. She is family, absolutely 100%. I am super biased. And even in being biased, there is not one for me who can hold a flame. She is poised for this position. She is prepared for this position. She has the know-how to get things done, and she has a beautiful plan. And so I just want you to go to, I think it's Penny for Georgia, pennyforgeorgia.com. And if you are in Georgia, in the state of Georgia, even if you are not in the state of Georgia, I am inviting Village Keepers to go and make a donation to her campaign right now. Yep, that's what I'm doing. We are not listed as a church, so I could totally do that. Oh, but you know what? Churches can now, right? They can also now do that. And so I just want to name that I want us to go and to support Judge Penny Brown Reynolds. And you'll know that, in the previous elections, right, all of the issues were coming out of the Secretary of State's office. So we are excited. We are excited. We are excited. And we have to be concerned with more than just our state or our localities, okay? We have to be concerned about what's happening in states across this country, and when we can, to support and to place our funds behind those candidates that we believe in. And so this is just one way that I'm doing that. Ashe. There's another flyer that I didn't have an opportunity to update, to put on here, but it's on my timeline, and that is on December 28th. I'm looking forward to celebrating collective work and responsibility in the Kwanzaa observance with Action for Equity in the Triad Cultural Arts Center. It will be, you can look on my page for that information. If you have never observed Kwanzaa, I want to invite you to do it this year. I want to invite you from the 26th to the 1st to observe Kwanzaa, which is not a religious holiday, but a cultural observation, a cultural honoring of principles that we use. Its technologies to ground us, to support us, and to really retrieve our cultural ways of knowing and being that can sustain us. Ashe. I'm getting word that in some point in January, you will be able to pre-order my book. That you will be able to pre-order my book. And so I'm just putting you on notice that I'm coming back in January on full blast. I want you all to help me. I would love to have 1,000 pre-orders. The book comes out August 11th, 2026, and I would like to have 1,000 pre-orders. I would like to have more than that, but let's start with 1,000 pre-orders. The book is The Pink Robe Chronicles, Woman is Wisdom for Healing, Liberation, and Love. It is a phenomenal display and unveiling of my own story and my journey to voice, my journey as a mother, a partner, an intellectual, so many things, and what it has looked like for me to, decide that I'm no longer shrinking back. After each chapter in the book, there is work for us to do. In the words of Iyanla, that we might do our work. So there are spaces for us to pause and ponder, to ask ourselves some questions. There are also behind some of the chapters meditations. So for those of you who meditate, to be able to do guided meditations, and also some useful responsive readings to be used in community around topics that have been deemed as taboo. It is a journey back to self, back to body, and back to voice. And I am so very excited about it. Some of them are chronicles that you have heard right here on Pink Robe Chronicles. Others of them you have not heard. I'm just really, really excited. So many exciting people who have participated, who've written the foreword, the prologue, those who are endorsing. So I'm just excited for you to see. And I want to have that happen. And I hope that I can get your support. Finally, by way of announcements, I don't have this graphic up either. Let me see if I can grab this one. Let me try to grab this link right quick. And while I'm looking for this, won't you all come on in the room? Please click like and share. Don't be a voyeur. Just watch in the background. Okay. I got it. Let me put this link right here. So I've pasted it on Facebook. Let me take it over here to YouTube. Okay, the link that I just put up on YouTube and on Facebook is from the Abolitionist Sanctuary, the Reverend Dr. Nakia Robert. I'm asking, I don't know, I have a lot of asks this morning. This is where we are. This is the season. Dr. Nakia Robert, who is the founder of the Abolitionist Sanctuary, they are doing a phenomenal work. And I want us to... oh, shoot. Wait a minute, y'all. Oh, I never hit enter. Blah. Yes, I did. And I want us to consider. So they have an abolition tree, and they are donating, they are receiving funds to help support Black mothers during this holiday season. It's their first annual Abolition Tree Mutual Aid campaign. You know, we live for mutual aid. We've been doing mutual aid here since the beginning. And it is also, I want to say, exhausting. I am not taking off, I'm not taking requests for mutual aid right now because I am simply at capacity and have not for a while. However, when I saw Dr. Roberts' first annual abolition tree, I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect. So all donations will go directly toward holiday gifts for children, winter essentials, household necessities, emergency support, and acts of joy and care during the season. It says your generosity becomes a symbol of hope, reminding mothers and children that they are not forgotten and that their community surrounds them with love. And so then you just, put your donation right there, and it will go towards those who need it most. So I hope that you will make that consideration, Ashe, and that you will send all of your mutual aid funds there, and so that we can support another Hush Harbor who's doing this work, who actually has the back end and all of the kind of support needed to run this smoothly. Ashe, Ashe. Let's move to our text for consideration this morning, which could be found in the book of Isaiah, chapter 35, verses 1 through 10. Listen. Listen for a word. The desert and the parched land will be glad, and the wilderness will rejoice and blossom. And like the crocus, it will burst into bloom. It will rejoice greatly and shout for joy. And the glory of Lebanon will be given to it, and the splendor of Carmel and Sharon. They will see the glory of the Lord, the splendor of our God. Strengthen the feeble hands, steady the knees that give way. Say to those with fearful hearts, be strong and do not fear. Your God will come. Say to those with fearful hearts, be strong and do not fear. Your God will come. One more time. Say to those with fearful hearts, be strong. Your God will come. And your God will come with vengeance and with divine retribution. Your God will come to save you. Then will the eyes of the blind be opened and the ears of the deaf unstopped. Then will the lame leap like a deer and the mute tongue shout for joy. Water will gush forth in the wilderness and streams in the desert. And the burning sand will become a pool, the thirsty ground bubbling springs. In the haunts where jackals once lay, grass and reeds and papyrus will grow. And a highway will be there, and it will be called the way of holiness. And it will be for those who walk on that way. The unclean will not journey on it. Wicked fools will not go about it, and no lion will be there, nor any ravenous beast. Good morning, Mama Hazel. They will not be found here, but only the redeemed. This is why you should read your text out loud. Because when you hear it, listen. But only the redeemed. Let it get into you. But only the redeemed will walk there, and those the Lord has rescued will return. And they will enter Zion with singing. Everlasting joy will crown their heads. Gladness and joy will overtake them, and sorrow and sighing will flee away. The word for the people. Thanks be, Ashe. I had joy. I accidentally ended the original live and had to create one and didn't want to retype the title. And so I want to first play this as we lead into.
Season of Advent, we are reminded that God's light does not wait for perfect conditions. It breaks into our fractured world that longs for wholeness. As a community, we're invited to let the candles we light become more than symbols. They are commitments we carry and live beyond the season. Joy that resists cynicism, hope that refuses to surrender, courage that steadies us for our shared work, peace that softens our conflicts, grace that empowers us to care for one another, love that becomes our daily offering. May our Advent be illuminated by these lights, and may the candles of our work, our worship, and our witness burn all year long, guiding us toward the one who comes to make all things new. Peace and blessings this.
Shout out to Roger Epps, who probably filmed that. So I want to talk about this morning, joy that will not wait for perfect conditions. Joy that will not wait for perfect conditions. Joy that will not wait for perfect conditions. I am thankful for the clarifying and comforting words offered this week by my colleague and our assistant dean of students, the Reverend Brittany Hunt Ashe. She is the dean of admissions, the dean of students. I'm thankful for her words, particularly when she said just now in the video that God's light does not wait for perfect conditions. God's light does not wait for perfect conditions. Honestly, y'all, I could end this chronicle right here. Because the truth is, this week alone has given us a masterclass in how dark the world can be. My community was rocked by earth-shattering news. 2 young people, children, caught in a physical altercation at a high school that left both wounded and one of them fatally. I received a call from a beloved sister who received an unexpected diagnosis that has reoriented her entire sense of future. Grief revisited me as I reflected on a September encounter with one I once believed was beloved. A village keeper, a soldier for justice, has been targeted by the Alphabet Boys and indicted. A womanist elder, brilliant and faithful, was unjustly removed from her position as the dean at Luther School of Theology in Chicago. And 2 people were fatally wounded and 8 others in critical condition at Brown University as a result of an active shooter just on yesterday. The chaos around student loans, the constant limbo has so many feeling precarious, anxious, and abandoned. In a week like this, it feels almost irresponsible to talk about joy. It feels absurd to preach about patience, and it feels cruel to whisper about justice. It feels disorienting to declare signs of the coming Messiah when the present feels like it's collapsing. But maybe, friends, maybe the problem is not joy. Maybe the problem is how we've been taught to understand joy. Maybe we understand joy as a fleeting feeling, something light, something bubbly, something Instagrammable, something reserved for the lucky or for the blessed or the unfazed. But joy, friends, is not the mood swing of the faithful. Joy, I want to suggest, as the other themes for Advent, is a what? A spiritual technology. It is the deep internal engine that keeps us upright. When the world is trying to fold us in half. Joy is a spiritual technology. It is also a surviving technology. It is a surviving technology that is coded into the bones of our ancestors. And maybe we need to reimagine favor too. Favor, as you've often heard me say, favor is not this whole it ain't fair thing. Favor is not the happy juice many of us sip when we think God has smiled on us and nobody else. Favor is not a reward for good behavior. Oh my. Hold on. Let me hike my chair up, y'all. Woo, Jesus. Melva, wait a minute. Let me get myself together. Let me hype my computer up. Yeah. Let us, Yeah. Favor, let me come back again, friends. Jesus today, is not a reward for good behavior. Favor is the sacred fuel God gives us to ride out the storm. It is the fuel that God gives us to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when the next step feels impossible. Think about Mary when the angel visits Mary and says, "Blessed is she who will bear a son, for the favor of the Lord is upon you." Do you think that Mary was thinking, "Oh, goody, I have been blessed because of my good behavior"? Or was she thinking, "Oh, damn, I don't know what you talking about, Willis"? What is it? What is our infatuation with favor? I tell you, our infatuation is the conditioning of capitalism. That we equate favor with materials. But it is not a reward, friends, for good behavior. Favor is not proof that trouble will avoid us. Can I help us? Favor, though, is evidence that trouble will not destroy us. Running back. Favor is not proof that trouble will avoid us. Favor is evidence that trouble will not destroy us. And Advent, this season of waiting, of longing, and expecting and preparing, Advent is God's invitation to collective care. Advent reminds us that God is sending us to save us. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? What you say? Advent reminds us that God is sending us to save us. What do I mean? I mean that salvation rarely drops from the sky. I know I'm mixing and I'm matching and but you follow me. That salvation, which we seemingly only talk about in the New Testament through the witness of Jesus, but salvation is also in the Old Testament, and namely in this particular text, which is about being saved. Salvation is incarnational. How? Because God shows up through people. God shows up through communities who refuse to abandon one another. Yeah. God shows up how? Through acts of justice. God shows up, Dana, through shared resources, which is why mutual aid is so important. God shows up through stubborn hope in impossible places. We are the ones who midwife God's light into the world. God is sending us to save us. Come on, where my futurists? Yeah. We are the midwives. We midwife God's light into the world. We are the ones who keep each other alive. We are the ones who build the pathways that God walks through. Advent, friends, is not passive waiting. Advent is participatory deliverance. Advent is not passive waiting, Samiko. Advent is participatory deliverance. Let's turn to this text. Isaiah 35, 1 through 10, is a song of restoration bursting forth in the middle of despair. Who is Isaiah speaking to? Isaiah addresses a community beaten down by exile. Political instability, corruption, displacement, and despair. Sound familiar? They are a people whose land has been ravaged, whose spirits have been broken, whose hope is threadbare, whose joy has dried up like the desert. They need encouragement because they see no evidence, zero, zilch. They see no evidence, none, that their situation will ever improve. I'm speaking to someone today. They have lost their bearings. They walk in fear, not expectation. They are questioning whether God has forgotten them altogether. And it is into that context, into the ache of exile, into the paralysis of despair, into the exhaustion of waiting that Isaiah sings. Isaiah 35 is a prophecy of impossible transformation. The desert will bloom. The wilderness will erupt in flowers. Weak hands will be strengthened. Feeble knees will be made firm. Blind eyes will see again. Deaf ears will ring with sound. Lame bodies will leap. Tongues stilled by trauma will shout again. A holy highway will be built. A pathway for the redeemed to return home, and sorrow and sighing will flee. Isaiah is speaking to the people, speaking to people who have stopped believing that good can happen. Can we pause for a moment? I need a ha, ha. Can I confess that in this iteration, this plane that we are on, this administration, all that I began with, that I believe at times that good cannot happen? Isaiah is speaking to people who have stopped waiting for joy because sorrow has outnumbered their days. People who have seen so much injustice that justice feels like a myth. People like us in weeks like this. Isaiah dares to announce joy in a joyless world, not the joy of denial, not the joy of distraction, but the joy of divine reversal, the joy of the oppressed being restored, the joy of the exiled returning, the joy of the traumatized reclaiming their voices. Isaiah is saying God's transformation begins where human help ends. God's joy erupts where conditions are least conducive. God's light shows up in deserts we have already given up on. Can I go back and read those two? That God's joy erupts where conditions are least conducive. Somebody is getting that right now. Your condition, you believe, even your natural eye cannot see how it might be conducive. But this text says that God's joy erupts where conditions are least conducive. God's light shows up in deserts we have already given up on. So what does this mean for us? What does this mean for us, Melva? It means for us, those who are grieving, those who are anxious, those who have received devastating diagnoses, those facing unjust systems, those betrayed by those we once trusted, those watching our students bury their peers, those living in the fatigue of a world that feels increasingly unsafe. It means this: the desert is not the end of the story. The darkness is not the final chapter, and sorrow is not the last word. Say it again, Melva, that the desert is not the end of the story. The darkness is not the final chapter. The sorrow is not the last word. Hey, my goodness today, for those who wait, and waiting does not mean sitting still. Waiting means holding on. Yeah. When the thread is thin, Linky, and trembling, for those who wait, Isaiah promises God will strengthen what is weak. God will revive what is dying. God will return what was stolen. God will perform what feels impossible. Isaiah stands in the wilderness and shouts, joy is coming. Justice is moving and God is on the way. And not when circumstances improve, not when everything settles, not once conditions are favorable, but God is on the way right in the middle of the mess. Now this is Q Dotty, people. He's an on-time God. Hey, yes he is. Oh, he's an on-time God. Yes he is. What she say? Oh, I said he may not come when you want him, but he's always right on time. He's an on-time God. We had to take it back. Yeah. God is coming not when circumstances improve, not when everything settles, not once conditions are favorable, but right in the middle of the mess. See, usually when we sing that song, God is an on-time God. Yes, God is. We sing it wanting us to already have come through the mess. We usually sing it too late. We sing it after we have the testimony. Yeah. But we need to sing it because God is coming in the middle of the mess. And let me tell you, I know something about this. I know something about the mess. I know it is rare that I preach about something I don't know about. It's very rare. It's very rare, friends, that I preach about what I don't know about. Very rare. I know something about God showing up in the middle of a mess. In December 21, I was sitting in the office. I was sitting in a meeting. It was a new meeting of the new president. It was a new task force, a new DEI task force, to be exact. I was excited to be there as an emerging faculty member on the tenure track. I was excited to sit and to be around colleagues. And as many of us do when we're sitting in meetings, when we are, kind of trying to direct our attention or streamline our attention or kind of tend to other things because maybe we live with ADHD. I was piddling around, listening, waiting for it to start, and I received a memo. And it was in this memo that came from the previous leadership, whose name is not worthy of ever being spoken by me. It was a memo from the previous leadership, and the first letter, it was a 2-page memo, and the first page is glowing. My God, today, all of the phenomenal things that I have done, everything that I was, the gifted person that I am, the grant that I had received to be on sabbatical, it was glowing. And then the second page was not even 10 full lines. But unfortunately, even in all of this, singular, not my colleagues, not the faculty, although they contributed, they don't get a pass here. You can read more about it in the Pink Row Chronicles when you pre-order. It says that I have chosen not to renew your contract. I have chosen not to renew your contract because I do not see the promise or the possibility of tenure for you. Now, I want to be clear, let the record be straight, that this, because I'm testifying to you about how God shows up in the middle of mess. I was not even up for tenure. I want to be clear for those bing bong, for those who don't have the right story and have been running with a shifty narrative that I couldn't share because I was under an NDA. I was not under tenure review. I had not gone up for tenure. I had not submitted a package for tenure. I was at the 4th year review to receive a new contract, a second contract that would have taken me into the tenure review. Honey, baby, boo, pie. But this indignant and some of its imps said, we don't see the promise. Picture that. We don't see the promise. We don't see the possibility. And so I have chosen to end your journey right here. That email landed like a thud in my spirit. You know, my heart raced and you know that my mind froze. I felt the floor evaporate beneath me. I didn't know how I would move forward. I immediately started thinking to the end because that's what we do. When we receive news that shifts the earth beneath us, we automatically go to the end of it, how we see it turning out. But when we rush to the end, we don't give God time to move in the middle. Can I help us on today? Can I help us on today? But I didn't know how my spouse and I would make it on this without this part of our salary. I didn't know where my gifts would find a home. I didn't know if the calling on my life had collided with a dead end. And beneath all of that fear was a grief so deep. I wish that you would holler if you hear me. I couldn't speak it out loud for weeks. And I kept singing the song, thank you for not even bringing it to my remembrance right now. Because I sang it so often. It's like I hear it, I can't bring the words. It's almost like, because I'm out of it now, it's kind of been buried deep in my subconscious. Let go, let God, let go. That's all I can remember. Let God. Let go. Oh, what are the words? Let God. Let go. Oh, what is that? As soon as I stop worrying. Ha! Woo! That just took me all the way back. That's why I had to stay buried. My God. I had that song on loop. And I would drive our children to school. And Cherie, I would just be wailing with the windows down in the winter. Do you hear me? With the windows down. I just would be wailing. Almost had to pull over a couple times because the tears were so full in my eyes that they were blurring. Oh my God, my God. I couldn't see. And this deep grief mixed with a profound anger, an anger that I was so scared of because I really believe that I would not be able to control myself. I don't know who's here today. I don't know who's here today right now who can tap in to when you receive something that literally is so unfair, that literally it is because you are the bullseye and the target has landed right on you. The grief is so deep that you can't name it, but your body is feeling it. I want to tell you that I lived with that I lived in that season of quiet terror. Every plan that I had built was suddenly uncertain. Every assurance I lived with suddenly dissolved. I felt like Israel in exile. I was disoriented. I was displaced and I was undone. Oh, and yet, can somebody just type and yet? Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, listen, and my sisters, my group chat though held me down. You better get you a good group chat. My group chat held me down. Some of you that knew that are village keepers, y'all held me down. They held me down. Even in the midst of it, can I tell you that joy still found me? But before you sign off, don't think, now here she go. Why she go say that? Joy still found me. But can I tell you, it was not the joy of celebration. No. It wasn't the joy of celebration, Eleazar. It wasn't the joy of celebration, Mia and Carolyn and Cherie and Glency and Catherine and oh, my deacon is on here, y'all. Y'all gonna make me cry. My deacon is on here. My deacon. The deacon who said yes to my licensing, the deacon who said yes to my ordination, the chair of my deacon board, Deacon George Satterwhite, is on here. I say, joy still found me. Can I tell you that it is not the joy of celebration? It wasn't because there wasn't anything to celebrate. It was the joy of endurance. Yeah. It was the joy of being carried. It was the joy of realizing that I was not alone. People showed up. God showed up through people. Provision showed up. Not one thing went unpaid. Hallelujah. Not one utility was disconnected. Not one car note was missed. You don't hear me today. Provision showed up. Unexpected doors cracked open. The wilderness began to bloom. A holy highway appeared where there was once only rubble. And now, y'all, standing on the other side of that December, my God, today, I realize that joy did not wait for my life to be perfect. God's light did not wait for the perfect conditions. So then what do we do with this, Melva? The first thing that we do is practice communal care. We remember that joy grows in community, not in isolation. What you say? Joy grows in what? Community, not isolation. We hold each other up when fear tries to take us down, Crystal. Number two, we keep watch for signs of life in unexpected places. What I loved about this text, or what I found phenomenal about this text, is that joy kept showing up in unlikely places. Deserts gonna bloom. The wilderness is gonna sing. It is helping us to train our eyes to look for the impossible. Look for the impossible. So 1, we practice a communal care. 2, we keep watch for signs of life in unexpected places. And 3, we refuse to confess darkness with defeat. A dark week does not mean a dead future. A dark week does not mean a dead future. Why, Melva? Because joy is gestating. Joy is gestating because justice, Cherie, is germinating. And God is incubating something in the soil of our sorrow. Finally, we walk the holy highway even when the terrain is rough. I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain. Trouble in my way, trouble in my way. I got to cry sometime. Trouble in my way. Yeah. See, all of these hymns now, they all should be making sense. We gonna walk the holy highway even when the terrain is rough. Put one foot in front of the other and show up. Keep breathing, friends. Keep expecting, Crystal. And what is the conclusion, friends? The conclusion is that joy, it's the joy that will not wait for perfection. Beloved, Advent joy is not fragile. It's not shallow, and it's not conditional. Advent joy is fierce. Advent joy is resistant. Advent joy is rooted in God's capacity to transform deserts into gardens, exiles into pilgrims, and despair into dancing. So, friends, as we close, even in weeks like this, what is it? Hold on. I gotta grab these lyrics right quick. Yeah. I had to remember the lyrics. Even in times like this, shout out to Meek Mills. I used to pray for times like this. Come with me. Come with me. I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this. So I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the bed of a paddy wagon. Cuffs locked on wrists, see my dreams unfold. Nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game. And I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Got a shorty, she trying to bless me. So I said I chew like an engine sneeze. Engine please for them triggers squeeze. I'm getting cream. Never let them get in between of what we started. Little ninja, but I'm lion-hearted. They love me when I'm stuck in it. They hate it when I'm departed. I go get it regardless. Draw it like a monarchist. No crawling. Went straight to walking with foreign in my garages. All foreign. Menaging. Swallowing anything for $1. Tell them to go and got them. I did it without an album. I did it with Mariah. Little Ninja, I'm on fire. Icy as a hockey rink. Philly Ninja, I'm flying. When I bought the Rolls Royce, they thought it was leased. And then I brought that new Ferrari. Hater, rest in peace. Hater, rest in peace. Rest in peace to the parking lot. Phantom so big, can't even fit in the parking spot. You ain't talking about my ninjas, then what you talking about? G's moving silence, ninja, and I don't talk a lot. I don't say a word. I don't say a word. Was on my grind and now I'm getting what I deserve. App Ninja. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I bought that Aston Martin, y'all thought it was rented? Hey, flexing on. You get the picture? Woo, we had to go there for a second. We had to conclude in that way that we are being strengthened. We're being strengthened. We're being strengthened. Even in weeks like this, weeks that are filled with grief, diagnosis, violence, injustice, and uncertainty, hear this good news. God's light does not wait for perfect conditions. Joy does not wait for perfect conditions. And hope surely does not wait for perfect conditions. We are being strengthened, friends. We are being restored. We are being carried on a holy highway towards joy. Ashe. Ashe. Asheo. We are headed over to the clearing. The clearing is our private space where we are not under blatant surveillance, where we have an opportunity to talk back to the text. It is a subscription community, which means there's a monthly subscription fee. It's $30. I promise you, a monthly $30 subscription to join and to be with us. If that is something you're interested in, I have put the link right here on YouTube. I've also put it right here in the chat on Facebook. If you are saying, Dr. Melva, listen, I rock with you. I'm not either interested or I don't have capacity. I ain't trying to join. I don't want to do that. I don't want to add something else. I don't want to do that. Get it, got it. But you said, but I want to leave an offering because I was blessed. And as a sign of reciprocity, I want to leave an offering. You can hit up Venmo. In that way. You can also hit up on Cash App, which is Melva L. Sampson. I just put that in the chat on Facebook. I'll put it also here on YouTube. You can also give a gift via Pink Robe Chronicles PayPal. You can also give via Zelle. Ashe. If you are here and you want to come to the clearing and you want the link, because we take the clearing very seriously. It is our sacred place. It is our protected space. If you have my number, text me. And I will get you the link, Ashe. If you're saying, I'm at the end of my rope, and if I could just be in community today. If you're on Facebook, you can inbox me. If you're on, YouTube, you can email me at Pink Robe Chronicles @gmail.com, and I will get you the link for you to join us today. I thank you, those of you who are sowing and making offerings. And let me close this way, why this is also important. Us coming to save us. When you sow an offering, it is you saving you, us saving us. And for many who tune in to digital spaces, I remember I used to feel away, and that's what this episode of Wake in the World is about, for receiving offerings, because I was just like, I don't want people feeling like. And then I thought, no, I am here every Sunday unless I have another assignment to do. I am here showing up, being present. I am waking up early. I'm going to sleep late. It is an offering. When folk go to traditional spaces, if they have it, they have no problem with giving their offering, no problem with sowing seeds. And so the same should be shown in this way. And so I'm appreciative, especially this is the first stop for many of you before you go into your houses of worship, where you are giving your full tithe and giving your full offering, but it's not where you're getting your full blessing. That part. So we're going to head over. I'm going to end now, and we will see you all next week. Praise the Lord. I believe that I will be finished with grading. Hallelujah. Jesus. Amen. Until then, y'all.